Onions, they're delicious in your burger, your salad, or your favorite dip, unless of course, you start crying. We've all been there. You're happily cooking dinner when suddenly those pesky onions bring tears to your eyes. Maybe you were making a sandwich for lunch the next day, and you dice up some onion to throw in it. Then before you know it, your eyes are all red and puffy. So why do onions make you cry? First, let's take a closer look at what exactly onions are. Onions are part of the allium family, which also includes garlic, chives, and leeks. And like other alliums, onions have a central bundle of leaves attached to a bulb that grows just below the soil. The leaves are what we typically eat, and the bulb is the part we often store and use in our recipes. But no matter which part of the onion you look at, there's one thing that remains constant: that pungent, delicious smell. That's because the chemistry of onions produces lots of sulfur compounds, which contribute to both their flavor and their fragrance. But when you cut into an onion, those sulfur compounds don't stay put. Instead, they go through a series of reactions that produce volatile compounds called synpropanethyl S-oxide. These compounds float up from the onion and enter your eye, where they react with a water-based fluid called the lacrimal gland. This reaction generates a signal that tells your brain, hey, something irritating has entered your eye. So your body responds by producing more tears to wash away the irritant. But wait, there's more. That same signal also causes your blood vessels to dilate, your heart rate to increase, and your respiratory tract to expand. Basically, your whole body reacts as if it's under attack, even though onion gas isn't actually dangerous. And the reason onions cause this reaction is kind of ironic. Onions evolved to be this way in order to defend themselves against attackers like insects and fungi. Those pesky sulfur compounds aren't just delicious to us, they're toxic to many other living things. So by releasing onion gas, onions protect themselves from being eaten or growing something undesirable on them. And while onions might not be able to defend themselves against us humans, we do have some tricks up our sleeves to defend ourselves against onions. For example, we can try putting on goggles while cutting onions, although that probably won't stop your other senses from being overwhelmed. Or you could suck on a mint or chew gum to divert your attention away from the onion fumes. Another trick is to cut the onion under running water. The water will help dilute the onion gas before it has a chance to irritate your eyes. You could also try changing the variety of onion you use. Some varieties release less irritating gases than others. For instance, sweet onions like Vidalia and Walla Walla onions contain less sulfur than other types of onions, so they're a little less likely to make you cry. And if you really want to reduce your risk of tearing up, try freezing the onion before you cut it. Just be careful since frozen onions tend to be really slippery. Speaking of slippery, another way to deal with onion gas is to cover your cutting board with a damp paper towel. The moisture will help trap the gas and prevent it from escaping into the air. Or you could try putting the onion in a plastic bag while you chop it up. Once you're done, just be sure to tie the bag tightly shut so the gas doesn't escape. The good news is that none of these methods are better than just letting the onion gas dissipate over time. In fact, studies show that onion gas dissipates pretty quickly. Researchers measured the amount of synpropanethyl S-oxide in the air 10 minutes after chopping onions. They found that the peak concentration of onion gas was 48 parts per million, but that this amount dropped to 23 parts per million within a minute and to 12 parts per million within 5 minutes. So really, the best thing to do is just give onion gas some time to clear out before you start chopping, or put on your goggles and get chopping. Then you can enjoy your delicious meal without having to worry about all that extra protein in your tears. Thanks for watching this episode of SCI Show. If you would like to help support this channel, we have a platform where you can support us and our work. And as a thank you for your support, we have some pretty awesome perks like blooper reels, a podcast, and behind-the-scenes clips.